Welcome everybody back to Empyrion Galactic Survival Alpha 8. This is episode 36, and I'm not really very happy with the way this turned out. I'll be honest with you. I spent quite a bit of time, probably at least two real-time hours off camera, trying to pull the mountain over the top of this thing. Actually, let me get over here so we have a little more range on the drone. And just not happy with the way that it's looking, because it looks like somebody tried to pull a mountain over a structure. Just not happy with it. It doesn't look, natural like it normally would have. And of course, the problem was that I've got this perfectly, rectangular structure on an imperfect mountain, right? A mountainside. So, I figured let's just try it and see what it looks like, and then if we don't like it, we'll come up with Plan B. And I've decided I don't like it, and so we are going to come up with Plan B. So, Plan B, I think, I'm still kind of mulling a couple of things around, but Plan B is going to be this. We're going to take all of this off. We're going to completely remove this entire covering on the garage here. Okay? I'm probably going to extend. I might even take the garage back down and start it right here on the corner and go back, just because that's where the edge of the pad is. The other option is that I could extend the pad a little further this way too. The advantage of doing that is then I would have a little bit more of a sheer face along here, because I'm planning on actually digging into this mountain and creating a very large farm inside of there. That's going to be our farm, and it's going to be a big farm. It's going to be quite a bit larger than the one that we built at the outpost, because I want to have lots of product, right, for all the stuff that we need, and just for funsies and all that sort of thing. So I think that's what the plan will be. I think I'm going to go ahead and remove all that stuff, and we could even. There's a couple things we could do with that. I could build a second level, which I'm kind of thinking I might actually do. And then the second level could be, like the main quarters, or at least the manufacturing portion of this base. And because I want the living quarters to be down underground and along the cliff face, right? And that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. If I decide not to do that, then I'll leave, the upper area of this open, and we'll probably put, some rails, and we'll paint it, and we'll make it basically like an SV landing pad, so that the capital ship or ships will land down here, and the SVs would land up there. So, and even if we do, even if I do decide to make a second level for the manufacturing facility, I still will probably have the top of that be the landing pad for the SVs. All right, guys, we're back. So I got the top all cleared off, and I got to thinking about a little change. A little change over here. So what I think I'm going to do, instead of extending this out another level and having a square corner here, I think what we're going to do instead is we're going to angle the building so it kind of meets the mountain over here. So rather than bringing the mountain to the structure, we'll bring the structure to the mountain. That's the basic idea behind that. So I'm gonna. I still want it to, come out to the same distance. Now these garage sections here are 8 blocks wide, and the reason I went 8 blocks wide is because the bay door, the second to the smallest bay door, is the one that I want to put in here. For hovercraft mostly, and possibly small vessels, and so that door is 6 wide, so that gives us a little extra room besides just the width of the door for the garage. So it's going to be a fairly spacious garage, but I'd like to keep that same section distance in this third section here. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the angled blocks all the way to this point here, so it meets and intersects with those, so we have that same distance on that angle, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and place some more blocks here. I might actually be in the way, so let me move over here. Oh, I was actually, you know what? I was going to also finish out this. Yeah, let's get this all flattened out here too. I went ahead and removed, or went through and just made sure there weren't any chunks of ground in between the blocks on the roof. There were actually it was at least one hidden piece of ground. Probably doesn't matter, but I just wasn't sure if it might cause problems later on, so I just went ahead and removed that as well. Okay. Let's just bring this little section up. I know, again, probably don't need to do it, but let's just do it anyway. Let's just do it anyway. Flatten that out there. Alright. And then this also will just kind of go along. And I could pull all of this up a little more too, I guess. Let's just do it. It won't take that long. I just want to make sure, you know, like I said earlier, the reason I'm doing this is I just want to make sure I have a really good solid foundation on the structure. On our multiplayer server, we're having some SI issues since they made, you know, the updates. And this is update 8.3 now, by the way. And I believe the last time I recorded, it was still on 8.1. And we've had at least one structure on the multiplayer server that's kind of having some weird SI issues since those updates. I'm not positive if it's the updates that's caused it or if it's something else, but it's possibly that possible that it was the updates. So again, I just want to have a really firm foundation here, you know, so we don't run into that problem here in the single player series. And it's just kind of fun to, you know, to play around with the filler tool and manipulate the earth like this. Alright, so we'll raise that up there. We've got to get these pockets raised here. And then we'll flatten this all out once that's done. That's probably pretty good there, I'm thinking. Even went a little too far, probably. That's okay. Okay, let's flatten this. And then we'll finish building our angle to this next section here. And then from there, we'll kind of know, you know, how much width we need to cut out of the side of the mountain here, which will be right, this line right about here. Just remove this much material, roughly to there. Okay, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty firm there. Okay, so let's jump over here with our guy, and then whoops. Oh, also I noticed too that in the beginning of the video my webcam wasn't working, so I fixed that. Sorry about that. Sometimes when I start and stop OBS, it doesn't pick up the camera for some reason, so I have to restart it again, and I don't always notice it. All right, so let's see. We'll flip this around here, and then we'll just keep doing this, whoop, till we get over to here. And the other nice thing about doing it this way too is that then we won't, you know, we're basically following the contour of the mountain essentially, so we don't have to have the pillars. Not that I minded that so much; it does kind of look cool, but this is the better way to do it in terms of SI, anyway. Alright, and then we want to go back to the sloped block and put that one there, and this one flip around like that. Okay, good. That's good. Now, we're gonna have an opening here, but you know what we could do with that opening is we could maybe place a turret here or something. I don't think drones would come from this direction. Pretty sure they won't, but if they did, we could do that. So that's what I'm thinking maybe we'll do is we'll leave this as a little platform here that we'll put a turret up on. So let's see, if we're going to do that, then we need, let's get that, there we go. We'll get that in place. And that goes there. That goes there. And then these blocks get replaced by a, do we want to do that though? Yeah, I think we do want to do that. So those blocks come out, and we just put normal blocks in place to fill that in. There we go. And then all of this can come out. Okay. So we'll keep this angle going all the way, you know, to this corner, but this is just going to be like a little pad here that we'll put a turret on. I'm thinking, or maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll put a satellite dish or something. We'll see. Let's clear the rest of this away then to the edge of the pad. So something like that, I think, would look good. Shave off a little bit of this too. Now I'm going to try as best as I can. I'm going to try and make this, as you know, as I carve down that way. I'm going to try and make this a fairly straight, or vertical rather, face, cliff face. Let's switch to this for a second. Okay, yeah, so it's pushing that back. So I'm gonna go along and carve it out, of course, with the big drills on the hovercraft, and then it's gonna be all jagged looking. So we'll probably have to come along with the hand tool and flatten it out a little more. And it doesn't have to be perfectly flat either. I just don't want it to look super jagged, if that makes sense at all. Okay, can we get rid of this stuff here? Yeah, see, it thinks I want to flatten it to that, doesn't it? Okay, let's just tap with this. Because unfortunately, it affects more than just the actual spot you want to remove it on, so it can be a little weird sometimes. Okay, I probably better quit messing with that, or I'm gonna make it worse. All right, cool. Now, food time. Oh, geez, I'm really short on food. I got to run back to the outpost base and get fuel tanks anyways, because I forgot fuel tanks the last time. I'll do that off camera, of course, but yeah, that was our last can of food. And my power went out in the hovercraft while I was offline, of course, and so I probably lost all my food again. Yep, there it is. I've got an emergency ration. Yeah, shoot. I'm probably going to have to cut the camera here, you guys, and head back to the base and get some more food and get those fuel tanks anyway. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to run back. I'm going to grab that stuff. I'll come back here. And then, well, you know what? Let's fill this in first. I got a little bit of time. Not a lot. Let's fill this in first. And then, yeah, so I'll go get that stuff. I'll come back, jump in the hovercraft, and we're just going to carve all the way straight down here. And then I'll probably have to spend some time with with the hand tool to kind of smooth it out a little bit. Let's replace these. Excuse me. I think this is going to look good. Actually, having it follow the mountain like that, it's going to look kind of cool. Yeah, let's finish this out too. That can go there, and that can go there. And then we just have 2 more blocks that we have to pop out. Right there. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go get that stuff, come back, carve the side of the hill here with the hovercraft, and then get it smoothed out. And then when I'm ready to continue the construction, after all that's done, I'll bring you guys back. Okay, so I'll be back in a bit. Alright guys, we're back. And we got all this carved out. It actually went a little smoother than I thought it was going to, really. This is a relatively straight face, and you know, we're going to be digging into that anyway. We do have a bit of an overhang on the corner here, so I don't know for sure yet how I'm going to deal with that. I might even just leave the overhang there for now, and just see, you know, once we start actually getting a capital ship here, and seeing, you know, what our space looks like, we could possibly remove that later, but I think I might just leave it the way it is for now. But anyway, we extended this out, and so the next part of this project is going to be, over on this side anyway, is that we're going to start burrowing into the mountain and setting up a large farm. And it'll probably be, yeah, I'm not really sure if I'm going to do like maybe 2 levels or if it'll just be 1 level, just one big long, you know, field of crops kind of idea. I'm not really sure about that yet. We'll probably will do it that way for starters, and then if it, you know, if it looks like we need to expand it later on into 2 levels, then we could do that. But it's basically going to be the same height as whatever the lasers are going to do. So I'm going to keep the lasers right on the horizontal plane and do kind of the same thing that I just showed you guys here in the time lapse, where, you know, we cut into the hillside until we got to the end, then we laid the blocks down, then we cut into the hillside until we got to the end, then we laid the blocks down, and so forth. And that allowed me to keep, you know, the lasers on pretty much on the same level, and therefore I didn't have to do a whole lot of, you know, patching of holes and stuff after the fact. So that actually went, you know, quite smoothly. So we're going to continue following that that little method for you know, building out the farm in there. Okay, so let's just finish out this corner here, and then I think that'll be it for the episode. I think I'll just keep my guy right about here so he's not in the way. And let's also turn on the SI, and then we're gonna follow this contour here. Let's flip that around. Actually, you know, I think, yeah, you know what? Let's do this first. Let's put that in there. Because we're just gonna patch those in with the angles, and I just want to kind of get a feel for where we're going to need to put some vertical supports in, how far out this will go before it starts to get unstable. See, now that takes us, no, we need, if we go one more, let's just do one more here. Excuse me. That brings us then all the way to the wall here, okay? And then what we can do here is we can just pop that down there, and then that strengthens that up considerably, which means we shouldn't really need to put any kind of a support along the angle here. I think it'll be okay. But let's add these in just to make sure. Whoops. Take those back off. All right, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. It's not really any worse than, you know, we got a couple of spots here that are weakish, but not to the point that I'm concerned about them. So I think that's pretty workable. And then, you know, this is all, this part here, I think is just going to be all glass. I think we'll just put glass in there. I think that'll look cool. These will, of course, be the bay doors. So that way, you know, well, yeah, I mean, that way we can, if we're in a small vessel, we could fly in through here, right, and park the ship. If we're in a hovercraft, we could go out and just do a big old Evel Knievel jump off the side of the cliff, which would be kind of fun. It looks like I missed a little spot here of ground. Boom. All right, cool. Yeah, that's looking good. So yeah, I'm gonna have to I am getting kind of low on concrete blocks, so I am going to have to make about more of those. So I think what we'll do is let's go ahead and finish this out here. So this will come to here, and that will come to there. And then this will just fill in here too, like so. What I might do, if I can get away with it, guys, is I might actually see if I can set up my initial equipment in this little room here, just so I have a place that I can start, you know, making stuff. And that will likely be temporary, because what's going to happen now is I'm going to build a wall all the way along the face of this cliff here, and we'll have not really planning on putting vehicles in there, so we don't really need bay doors. We'll probably put glass in to make it look really cool for the farm. But I want to leave these bays open, as you know, for the garage, because it's the garage. And then, yeah, that's kind of looking cool. That's kind of looking cool. You know, the other thing we might do too is we might just keep it the one level for now, and then as we acquire more vehicles or vessels, we could extend this up to a second level, and then the top level would be for small vessels, the bottom level would be for hovercraft. Dang, you know what? The more that I think about that, the more I think that's what we should actually just go ahead and do. That makes a little more sense. The other thing we could do too is if we add a wall in here in the middle, is that going to give us a little better SI? And then we can make a door going through. Let's just, whoopsie. There we go. Yeah, see, that strengthens that up considerably. But I still would like to have a walkway through here. So if we did that, yeah, see, that only really affects that part. I'd kind of like to have a larger walkway through though. So what if we do something like this? Yeah, that still gives us improved, you know, definitely improved the SI on the roof here, even with that. I think it looked kind of cool when the whole thing was just open, though. It was a little more spacious. But the thing is if I'm going to put another layer on top of here, then I think we're going to probably need that extra strength there, just to be on the safe side. So anyway, yeah, so I think what we'll do, guys, is we'll wrap up the episode here. What we'll do in the plan for the next episode will be to get our equipment set up in this little section here, so that we can actually, you know, get started with manufacturing stuff, building stuff, crafting stuff, that sort of thing. And then we'll start working on this part here and burrowing this out and getting a farm going. And I actually brought 12 crop plots with me and a couple of seeds. I just want to get enough going ASAP so that I can, you know, make some canned food, and I don't have to always run all the way back to the forest base or the forest outpost every time I need to get more food. So we'll get that going too in the next episode, and I'm really having fun with this. This is really cool. I'm liking the way that it's turning out. I hope you guys are enjoying this too. Consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out today. Take a look at the About section of my YouTube channel, and you will see that I also do stream on Twitch several times a week. I'd love to have you come and hang out on a live stream. And also, you'll see the link to my Discord channel. We have a great community of people going on there. If you want to come and hang out with me during the week and chat and have a good time, you're welcome to do that as well. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.